Hello and welcome to the channel. President Bola Tinubu told a story of how he was given a dirty slap by a naval officer he carried in his cab while he was still hustling in the United States. Tinubu said while trying to make ends meet as he battled through school, he worked as a door guard and a security man. He has certainly come a long way, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Details next. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Why a naval officer slapped me in US, reveals Tinubu. President Bola Tinubu says a naval officer once slapped him for overcharging him unintentionally when he was a taxi driver in the United States. The president made this known as he shared stories of humble beginning in a biography published on the back page of a national daily. The biography titled Tinubu, My Life as Gypsy Cab Driver in the U.S. was authored by Nigeria's seasoned journalist Mike Awonyefa. According to Tinubu in the story, he worked as an unlicensed taxi driver in Chicago, the U.S., picking passengers from the airport to their destinations. The president said the driving job was embarked on in order to sustain him financially before he went to school. He narrated, "We got an unregistered used car commonly called Gypsy, which we ran as a taxi. We operated at the airport where we picked passengers and not anywhere else, like the hotel because it was forbidden for unlicensed cab drivers to do so. We did that for a while to raise some money. Bolaji went to Tennessee while I headed for Chicago. I was supposed to have started schooling in April. I deferred it till September in order to have more money. Immediately I got to Chicago. I went straight to Richard Daley College. It was very interesting. I was able to pay for my apartment and tuition fees at Chicago State University. I supplemented that by doing different menial jobs like door guard and security man." Speaking further about the incident, he said the naval officer he picked at the airport slapped him because he overcharged him as his destination was nearby. As a cab driver, one experience I will never forget was when I overcharged the naval officer who was returning to the country. It was not intentional, Tinubu said. Apparently, I didn't know the direction. There was no GPRS in those days to locate directions, so he gave me the direction to his house in a Virginia suburb. I gave him the price and the man responded with a slap to my face. He said I should know the correct price to charge to the location he mentioned. He slapped me and gave me the money. Meanwhile, a non-governmental organization known as Youth Rights Campaign (YRC) has demanded that President Bola Tinubu and all other political office holders in Nigeria be placed on the national minimum wage. According to the organization, it is not fair to ask average Nigerians to make sacrifices for the country, while the political elites feed large on the nation's resources. The group, through its national coordinator, Michael Lenin, also demanded the increase of the minimum wage up to 200,000 naira per month without retrenchment and an unemployment allowance for young people without a job. YRC stated this while condemning the planned 114% pay rise for political office holders. The group observed that Tinubu and all political office holders actually need to take a pay cut because of the humongous salaries and allowances they already receive, but the citizens have to battle with issues of fuel subsidy removal, currency devaluation, planned increase in electricity tariff, and introduction of tuition fees in public higher institutions. He who comes to equity must come with clean hands. President Tinubu cannot ask all Nigerians to tighten their belt and sacrifice while he continues to live the life of opulence associated with the office of the presidency. If, as the proponents of the increase in the salaries of political office holders have argued, President Tinubu is also affected by the difficult economic situation that has affected the livelihood of poor Nigerians, then it is only logical that he does not earn more than the people he leads. It is unacceptable that, while President Tinubu and the First Family is fed and clothed by the nation's resources, the people he leads spend at least 85% of their monthly income on food consumption, hardly leaving anything for clothing, shelter, relaxation, and other necessities. It is for this reason that we of the Youth Rights Campaign (YRC) demand that President Tinubu and all political office holders at all levels should be placed on the national minimum wage. We also demand an inflation-proof increase in the minimum wage up to 200,000 naira per month without retrenchment and an unemployment allowance for young people without a job. Given the rapidly worsening economic situation, we urge the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) and the Trade Union Congress (TUC) to demand that negotiation over a review of the minimum wage should start immediately. Workers who have been reduced to paupers and have been walking into work since subsidy removal 3 weeks ago cannot wait till February next year before receiving a pay rise. With planned introduction of tuition and increase in electricity tariff, workers' living cost is bound to crash further. A pay rise for workers is a matter of life and death. In addition to rejection of the planned hike in school fees and electricity tariff, Labour must demand that government agrees to increase minimum wage to 200,000 naira right now and adequately fund public education at all levels. However, it is important they must be prepared to call for actions like mass rallies, protests, and strikes to push for these demands and ensure that such a new minimum wage regime is implemented not only by the federal government but also the state governments and private sector bosses, YRC submitted. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress (APC) and President Bola Tinubu will commence their defense next week against a petition challenging the presidential election outcome. Tinubu, who received 8,794,726 votes in the election, beat out Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), who received 6,984,520 votes, and Peter Obi of the Labour Party (LP), who garnered 6,101,533 votes. Following the election, Obi, Atiku, and their respective parties lodged petitions before the tribunal. The Allied People's Movement (APM) has also filed a petition and completed their case after calling one witness. Atiku and the PDP closed their case after calling 27 witnesses, while Obi and the LP rested their case after presenting 13 witnesses. During the last tribunal session, the lawyers agreed to postpone their defense until after the Muslim holiday, as opposed to the original schedule of June 31st. That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time. Bye.